10 years from now, we will be amazed how in 2010-2020 the biggest theft of personal databases in the world was even possible, and how so many companies have grown on our implicit agreement to provide personal data that now, by law, should remain private. And it all ended here in 2022 with the new iOS version of Apple, which asks users before installing an app if they want to be followed by it. And who's crazy to say yes? So Tim Cook just destroyed Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, Pinterest, Snapchat, and more. Companies that want to advertise on Facebook will have fewer targeted customers and will focus on other platforms that really work. See Google, for example, which has grown on the stock market lately. But they probably would have sold our data even today if it weren't for Cambridge Analytica scandal, which led to Donald Trump winning the US presidential election because of social media platforms. In the same year, 2016, the GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation, appears. Let me tell you a short story. Renaissance Technologies is the most profitable hedge fund in history. But it wasn't so profitable until the arrival of Robert Mercer, who left Renaissance after a political dispute with Jim Simons, the founder of the fund, supporter of the Democratic Party. Robert Mercer, who owned Cambridge Analytica, led to the election of Donald Trump using processing of personal data implicit in Facebook and Twitter at the time. Meanwhile, Renaissance has bought DocuSign just before the crash, and that was it for the statistical and the quantitative arbitrage trading after Mercer's departure. Is Facebook stock dead? Well, meta in Hebrew means dead. Mark Zuckerberg has realized that Facebook will be dead if it continues with the same business model that involves the accumulation of personal information about users of its platform. In a desperate situation to save his company before it collapses, Zuckerberg proposes to investors a new type of business, the metaverse, which will take about 10 years until it is fully functional, and we don't know when it will become profitable and how. Zuckerberg is in a race against the clock, where Facebook profit is lower than expected and the 2022 earnings forecast is below analysts' estimates. In the same time, Facebook is losing users because of TikTok, the living room because of YouTube, and has huge expenses for building the metaverse, while Unity and Epic Games have superior technology. Also, Nvidia's Omniverse, Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard for the biggest transaction in history, Apple with a larger financial reserve than most countries' GDP, and Animoca Brands in the crypto world, in which even George Soros invested, all compete for the same market share as Facebook's metaverse. And now I ask you, is Facebook stock underestimated at 645 billion? And could you anticipate the Facebook sell-off? Of course you could. In October and November last year, I wrote 2 articles when Facebook stock was 337 and 340 respectively. I expected a drop to the 258 support level. Today, after 3 months, we can buy the shares for 237. And that's not all. The sell-off could continue. Despite the 185 million volume on the sell-off day, the stock didn't bounce from the oversold level. Let's be serious. Would you give your money to a man who was successful with one business model and wants to change it in all its essence? Me neither. Or the institutional investors who bought 229,000 puts and only 366,000 calls last week despite the major sell-off. I feel prophetic when I tell you that Facebook will no longer be in top 5 largest companies in the world in the next decade. And here is the list of the apps that know the most about you, probably the next companies that will collapse in the stock market. My best stocks and crypto picks are in the Patreon page in the link below. Feel free to leave me a message on this video with your TradingView username if you want a 7-day trial for the indicators that I use. I think they are some of the best in the market. So if they help you make nice profits, then you can consider buying them. It's a one-time payment and include lifetime access and unlimited updates. They work even with a free TradingView account. But if you want to have a paid account with all those TradingView benefits, then you get $30 back if you register using the referral link below. Also, make sure to check my Udemy courses about trading the financial markets, how to set up a trading bot, how to buy and transfer Bitcoin, how to use technical analysis and 100x leverage, and also altcoin review and price analysis. The most secure Bitcoin exchanges that I use have links in the description below. That being said, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more huge upside potential stocks. I wish you many profitable trades.